Hey everybody. So this is a short video on how to activate and deactivate step snap on your translate, rotate, and scale manipulators. So once step snap, it's a tongue twister. What it does is allows you to move things at a specified value. So for example, without using step snap or just the default, basically when I move things around with the handles, I've got freedom to move them at any increment basically, and basically just eyeballing it. Obviously you can do grid snap with the X key, or you can do point snap with the V key, or other types of snapping, but step snap is useful in case you just need to do a bunch of things to very specific unit values. So for example, if I wanted to move this maybe at increments of 0.2 units, what I could do is I could activate step snap by going into the move manipulator option box, or just by double clicking on the icon here in the toolbox, and you can see it right here. Step snap is off, so if I click on this little arrow and turn it on, right now it's set to 1. So if I move things around, you can see it's moving it exactly by 1 unit. Now if I wanted to just move this at a smaller value, like 0.5 or 0.2 or 0.25, it's going to move at 20% of 1 unit essentially. So when I move this around now, it's going to move exactly at 20%. And again, very useful if you have to be very precise with the distance between specific objects. Now I can turn that off on for the move tool by going back in here, obviously, and turning it off. So it's off. Or I can turn it on and off through the marking menu. Now I can't modify this value through the marking menu, but once I've set this and I'm happy with that, what I can do is I can hold down the W and the left mouse button, and if I just drag it over here, I can turn on Discrete Move. So now when I move things around, it's going to it'll start moving at 0.2 again. And I can turn that off by holding W and the left mouse button. And again under Snap, and just turning off Discrete Move. Now this option is available for all 3 of the manipulators. So if I go into Rotate, and I set up what the unit is, you can see here the default's 15. But let's say I want that to be 45 degrees or something a little bit larger. So I can turn on relative, and I'm going to set that to 45. So now when I rotate this, it's going to rotate in 45-degree increments. Or maybe I want this to be a bit smaller, like 5 degrees. So now it's going to rotate at 5-degree increments. Or 10 degrees. So it'll rotate at 10-degree increments. And again, similar to the move tool, I can turn it off directly through here, or by holding down the E key and the left mouse button, I can just turn off Discrete Rotate. So it's labeled differently than the move tool, but it's the same thing. So I can just turn it off here. So now I can just move it freely, or I can hold down E and the left mouse button, and I can turn it back on again. Now if I want to change that value, I would have to go back over here and modify it through the option box. And scale is exactly the same. So if I go into scale, you can see right now it scales at a whole value, which is pretty extreme. So what I might do is turn back to relative, maybe scale at 0.2 increments as well. So now when I scale, it's going to scale down by 20%, or scale up by 20%, depending what I try to do. So again, very useful if I wanted to use this, say, in conjunction with my Smart duplicate. So I could hit Shift-D, rotate this up, right? So it's going to rotate at increments at 10 degrees. So now whenever I hit Shift-D again, it's going to move exactly 10 degrees. So if I did 36 of these, I could create an entire circle, essentially, right? 360 degrees. Okay. That's how you use discrete snap, or step snap as they call it in the biz. Cheers.